Hello.
Welcome to the last resort. We hope you get to enjoy your stay at this spooky hotel. We have lots of entertainment filled with colorful spooky ghosts, mini theme floored, and the main topic of them all, the scariest boss ghost of Luigi's Mansion 3. Hey, what's up, fighter? Fightman64 here, and welcome to another countdown video where today we are going to be talking about the boss ghosts and determining which of the boss ghosts in the main story mode is the scariest of them all. So, ground rules. This is going to be focused on the main story only, which means losses from Scare-Scraper mode will not count for this list. So, it's been 7 years since I last done anything like this, and the last time I did something similar to this, I did top 10 scariest portrait ghosts from the original Luigi Mansion. Now, I will say that this is one of my popular videos back in the old years, but it was around the time where I really got into YouTube at that time. So, I figured, why not do top 10 scariest boss ghosts of Luigi Mansion 3, which is what I'm going to be doing today. So, before we begin, if y'all could do me a huge favor and punch that like button on this video, I would really appreciate it. And also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button today if you are not a subscriber already, because there are still many of you watching my videos as a non-subscriber, and if you're one of them, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button today and let's reach our next goal of 400 subs. And also, hit the notification bell if you enjoy gaming content such as this one. So, I created a poll for this one like a few weeks ago or like a month ago. I can't seem to really remember. So, last time we talked about the mansions of Luigi Mansion 2 and ranked them from worst to best 2 days ago. But this time we're going to be talking about top 10 scariest boss ghosts, as I said. And from that poll I posted a long time ago, about around the month of October, the result was a tie between this topic and top 10 Luigi Mansion room. I will show that poll right now. So, originally I was going to do a top 10 Luigi Mansion room, but at the last moment, someone put in a vote to tie that topic to this topic. So, I gotta give the winner to, well, you know, top 10 scary boss ghosts of Luigi Mansion 3. And for those who wanted top 10 Luigi Mansion room, that I will cover next year. So, for those who are upset, please don't and understand. So, this countdown is based off of my personal opinion. I am not ranking these both ghosts because they are my personal favorite, but rather ghosts I think are the scariest. So, understand that these are all based off of my opinion. And if you disagree, then that's fine, but don't criticize me for it. It's my countdown, and I get to place them wherever I want. So, with that being said, let's go explore the last resort and rank the boss ghosts. Now, I will say in advance that ranking the boss ghosts in terms of how scary they are was not easy, because we have quite a few standouts this time around. But starting our list at number 10, we have Shambria, the second boss ghost of the game after you fight Steward in the basement. So, as I said before, Shambria is the main ghost that you encounter at floor number 5. the same floor that we were given to at the beginning of the game, where Helen takes Luigi, Mario, Peach, and the Toad to their room. The objective here is to get Ika's suitcase in the room he was assigned to. But there's one problem. There's the maid Shambria, who ate the suitcase in the most hilarious way possible, in my opinion. But I have to admit, her design is a little creepy, in my opinion. Every time I look at her, I'm like, ugh, what a creepy design. But I don't find her too scary, and she's like only the second boss ghost, which is why I had to place her low on the list. So, I don't have much to say for Shambria, aside from the fact that she's easy and it's hilarious to see her eat the suitcase and just run off with it, which is why Shambria is going to be at number 10 to kick things off. Now, the next boss ghost is neither creepy or scary, but the thing he will during his boss fight qualifies as one of them. This boss ghost I'm talking about at number 9 is Dr. Potter. Dr. Potter is the guy that you face in the tree scene floor. Basically, his deal is that he's planting plants that are mostly Venus flytrap, and basically what he's doing is that he's trying to hinder your progress, and he's trying to make you climb all the way to the top of the Venus flytrap so he can, well, keep the elevator button away from you. And once that happens, and Luigi and Luigi get to the top of the Venus flytrap, the button falls to the bottom of where the tree was rooted. And from there, you are greeted with Dr. Potter with his carnivorous plant. Basically, the deal with him is that you have to avoid the carnivorous plant's attack, where plant does the dive attack and will surf forward after a while. But how you deal with him, however, is you have to make his carnivorous plant surf as one of the planted seed that's round. I forget what those are called. And then you have to use some sort of chainsaw and cut the plant. And then that's how you fight him. So, Dr. Potter, while I don't find him to be as creepy as Shambria, nor scary, I will give him point for having a creepy carnivorous plant with those spooky eyes, which is why I'm going to give Dr. Potter number 9 for this one. Okay, so the next boss ghost doesn't really have a name for itself, but I'm going to put it in here anyway because this fight is awesome and you're fighting him in a movie set. So, at number 8 we have Godzilla, a disguised ghost dressed like Godzilla. So, this guy is who you face after you get Morty's megaphone from going to all 4 different movie scenes. Which, by the way, Morty's one of the best boss ghosts in the game for being a good guy and a pacifist. But we're not talking about him now. Sorta. Anyway, so, after you get Morty's megaphone, Morty then decides to put Luigi in a cutscene where he will be fighting a kaiju monster called Godzilla, who is seen to be terrorizing the city. Now, imagine if this was reality. If this was reality, this would probably be more terrifying and probably higher on the list. So, to fight this kaiju monster, we have to fight back using our Polter to knock the kaiju ball back at the ghost 3 times, while also dodging his fireball attack that cannot be thrown back at the Kaiju boss ghost. Now, normally I would not count this on the list since it doesn't have a name, but I just thought I'd put it on here because, as I said, the fight's awesome. And it's one of the best in the game. Not counting any of the major boss ghosts or the King Boo fight at the very end. So, Ghostzilla is gonna be at number 8. I really hate this boss ghost coming up. If you guys remember my Luigi Mansion 3 boss ghost tier list, you should know which boss ghost I'm talking about. At number 7 we have Polter Kitty, Helen Gravely's cat. Polter Kitty is the one that hinders your progress as you collect more elevator buttons from each room. Think of it as a replacement for Polterpup, who played as a thief in Luigi's Mansion 2. But this time, in Luigi's Mansion 3, it's Polter Kitty who's playing as the thief. You encounter her not once, but twice. The first time it happened is after you defeat the Kaiju boss sent by Morty, Ghostzilla. The second time it happened is after you defeat Johnny Deepin from floor 13. And from there, you have to chase Polter Kitty down from floor to floor to floor. And by doing so, you have to shine a flashlight on her. And doing so will trigger her inner beast form, which is like a Naruto reference of some sort. More of a cheap ripoff if you ask me, because not only is her beast form terrifying, but it's part of the reason why I hate Polter Kitty so much. Now, she may be a cute cat at first, but once you get her to her inner beast form, that's when things start to change. But what we're really doing is taking out one of her tails 3 times. You don't capture her the first time you encounter her, but you do after your second encounter with her. So, when you get rid of Polter Kitty, you better be glad that she won't be hindering your progress anymore. Because, Polter Kitty, I hate you so much. So despicable. Get out of here before I change my mind. On to number 6. This next boss ghost has probably got to be one of my favorite female characters in the game in Luigi Mansion 3, and she represents her theme very well. The next ghost I'm talking about at number 6 is Serpsy. Serpsy is the Cleopatra light ghost that you face on the 10th floor, just after taking care of business with Clem at basement 2. So, Serpsy, you encounter her inside the pyramid and see her sleeping inside her respective tomb. Upon meeting her, Serpsy will then wake up and send Luigi down to the bottom of the pyramid, where Luigi himself will have to solve the puzzle she's created and avoid all the booby traps and survive. And of course, escape the pyramid. Upon Luigi's success at escaping the pyramid, Serpsy will then fight Luigi outside the pyramid, where she will use a creepy face as a shield made with sand. And that face resembles the mystical monster Medusa. And as you know about Medusa, you're not supposed to be looking at her face. But this fight is much different. All you have to do is, you have to suck up her sand shield and expose her. And doing so will cause her to shoot cobras at you. And you have to wait till she lets her guard down to suck her up and deplete her HP. Now, the fact that the sand shield resembles Medusa and that she has snake-like hair. That is like on a level of creepy and pretty scary. Now, I place this above Polter Kitty because, well, I hate Polter Kitty as I said, since I find her as a ripoff of Naruto, but Cersei, I think she takes it up a whole nother level of creepiness and scariness, which is why I have to put Cersei at number 6. Alright guys, we are done with the minor bosses of this game. Now to move on to the major bosses. And let's just say, this top 5 was really close. But at number 5, we have Uggs. Uggs is the caveman that you fight in floor 9 as one of the major boss in order to rescue the second toad of the game, being the blue toad. Uggs is the one that also controls an undead T-Rex, a skeletal T-Rex. Pretty much a reference to Night at the Museum, and I do love this reference. Even the boss fight itself is awesome. Basically, you're throwing eggs at the T-Rex and a bunch of other stuff to damage the T-Rex body. And once you break it down to pieces, Uggs will come out and fight you with his brute physical strength, with carrying a club. And this guy means business. He may be more broad than brain, but his level of scariness, it can be a bit of a sight to behold, but not enough to claim the number 1 spot. He may not be my favorite major boss ghost of them all, but he is at the level of scariness, which is why I'm going to put Uggs at number 5. She's one of the first boss ghosts that you see at the beginning of the game, and she is the hotel owner of the Last Resort. That's right, at number 4 we have no other than Helen Gravely herself. Helen Gravely, as you know at the beginning of the game, is a die-hard fan of King Boo, much like myself as well. So, Helen Gravely, she's the hotel owner of the mansion, as we already know, and she is the second to last boss you face in the game before your final fight against King Boo at the top of the hotel. So, Helen Gravely is heavily secured on the very top of the floor before you get to the rooftop. And what you're dealing with on Helen Gravely's fight is you're dealing with her security laser beam, which you have to dodge. And you also have to control Luigi and Luigi at the same time, putting you under peer pressure at all costs when fighting Helen Gravely. Now, before the fight though, I will give credit that her true form is kind of creepy and kind of scary at the same time. This honestly reminds me of what happened to the Evil Queen when she turned into an old hot hag from Snow White, or maybe something like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, in that sort of sense. And whenever I see the change in Helen Gravely when she puts her makeup on and then shows her true form, it reminds me of that so much. Now, why she isn't in the top 3, however, and how she missed it, well, the boss fight, I don't find it epic, but it's still pretty decent for the most part. But yeah, she's also the one that holds Mario in her office, and you're freeing him after you defeat Helen Gravely. I mean, just look at her serious face. If that's not creepy, I don't know what it is. But I can't say it's scary enough to be in the top 3, which is why she unfortunately missed it. I'm not really big a fan of Helen Gravely, partly because she was the one that sent Polter Kitty after you to hinder your progress, but she still makes for a great boss ghost though, and I truly respect her for being a big fan of King Boo. So, Helen Gravely, I'm sorry to say this, but you get the number 4 spot. Okay, so the next 3 boss ghosts coming up, it was a really tight race to which one was going to get the number 1 spot. And it was really, really close. But at number 3, taking the bronze medal of Scariest boss ghost, we have the Shark Ghost, Captain Fishhook. Captain Fishhook is like my all-time favorite boss ghost in the game, minus King Boo. And that's because he is, well, a shark, like a great white shark in that sort of sense. Basically, Captain Fishhook is like the 3rd major boss ghost you fight in the game, and you're fighting for not only the 13th elevator button, but what you're also fighting for is to free the last toad of the game, being the yellow toad. So, the deal with Captain Fishhook is that he wants to make a meal out of you on a pirate ship, and what does he possess? Well, you guessed it, the pirate ship. And it's quite creepy at the very least. And, like all the other major ghosts from Helen Gravely and Uggs, he has a bad temperament. So basically what he does is that he possesses a pirate ship and tries to eat you. To fight him, you have to shoot barrels in his mouth. And doing so will stun him, and then he will try to strike it down with the anchor on his right fin. This fight is epic, and it's one of the best boss fight ever, especially when you get to the last phase, where he starts trying to hail you and eat you from like the one side of the pirate ship. And the fight is just downright awesome, and at a great level of creepiness and scariness. Captain Fishhook means businessman, and there is a reason why I love sharks so much like him. Now, unfortunately, I would have put him as runner-up, but there's one other boss ghost that I'm thinking of that barely beats him to it. So, let's get to number 2. Oh boy, this next boss ghost is seriously gonna give you some Super Mario 64 vibe here in a moment, because taking the runner-up spot at number 2 for scariest boss ghost of the game is Amadeus Wolfgeist. Wolfgeist is the first major boss ghost you fight in the game to rescue the first toad, being the red toad. And he references Wolfgang Mozart, a famous pianist back in the old days. So, Wolfgeist, he starts off chill at first, throwing cheer from the audience at you on the first phase, but then on the second phase, he sends a bunch of common ghost enemies who can be seen waltzing and dancing and trying to hinder your progress. When all that fails, this is where things really start to heat up for Amadeus Wolfgeist. Completing the 2 phases will cause Wolfgeist to possess his own piano and will fight you with his own instrument. Sounds so familiar, doesn't it? Well, you're right. This is a reference to Mad Piano from Big Boo's Haunt. For those who don't remember, there is a possessed piano found in Big Boo's Haunt in Super Mario 64, and it attacks you when you come near it. This fight, however, is much different. All you have to do is dodge Wolfgeist's attack and then shoot a bomb when the piano is open, causing Wolfgeist to be exposed, where you must suck him into the vacuum cleaner and, well, you guessed it, defeat him. Now, this boss fight is really easy, but it really does get some creepy, scary, nostalgic vibe from Super Mario 64. As I said, I did warn you guys that it was coming after all, and like the last boss ghost I talked about, this is another one of my top favorite boss ghosts of all time, due to myself being into singing and a lot of that stuff. But I don't really play instrument, but piano is one thing that I like taking on. So, Wolf Guy, although he might not be as scary as Captain Fishhook, but if you think about what happened in Super Mario 64 with the Mad Piano, you start to get the idea from what they were going for. And I think the developers did a really good job with executing Amadeus Wolf Guy and making him so meaningful. But unfortunately, there is one boss ghost, the one ghost that remains uncontested of them all. But who can it be? Well, let's find out who got the #1 spot. He's big, he's intimidating, he's the spookiest and scariest boss ghost of them all. He is the evilest ghost in the game, appearing in all 3 of the Luigi Mansion titles and serving as the antagonist of Luigi. At the #1 spot for the scariest boss ghost of the game, he is the one and only King Boo. Seriously, who else would have taken the #1 spot aside from him? So, King Boo, in Luigi Mansion 3, he means serious business, and he is out for revenge and is out for your blood. Basically, he is determined to capture Luigi and his friends once and for all, after suffering defeat twice. The first time happened in the regular mansion of the first Luigi Mansion game, and then the second time that happened, it was in Dark Moon. But this time, he is very big and intimidating, and he's more fearsome to look at, having the rage and emotional and much more power in his possession. This guy is vile and evil, and he will stop at nothing to accomplish his goal, whether it be trying to conquer Evershade Valley in Dark Moon, or plotting his revenge against the Mario Brothers for what they've done in the past, and their allies, and even trapping Professor Egad for doing ghost research on him and the other ghosts, even the Boos. This guy is always one step ahead of the game, and he is the one with the brain. And I swear, every time I think of King Boo, I always think of him as Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars, who's always one step ahead of the game. And if Palpatine one step ahead of the game, so is King Boo. And to me, King Boo is more smarter than what Bowser is, as Bowser relies too much on his pride and power and uses more brawn than brain, usually. And to me, the rivalry between King Boo and Luigi, that to me is like one of the best rivalry ever, and is meant to be, since Luigi fears ghosts like him. Now, no offense to Mario and Bowser being the rivalry, but I think the rivalry between Mario and Bowser is a bit overrated. But that doesn't mean it's bad. Unfortunately, we're not talking about them. So, King Boo. Now getting into the serious part. King Boo and Helen Gravely is the one that invited Luigi and his friend to the last resort. All plotted by Helen Gravely mainly. So, at the beginning of the game, Luigi and his friends are invited. Helen sends them to their room, and then, while they're napping, everyone except Luigi is trapped into a painting. Which then, Helen and King Boo greet Luigi, while he's defenseless. And he tries to capture Luigi at the beginning of the game. That goes to show how determined King Boo is, and why he means business, and why he is the scariest boss ghost in the game. But we're not stopping there, because during our first encounter, Luigi escaped through the chute, normally where you would place your laundry that. And we don't encounter him for a long time. The next time we encounter him is up to the rooftop, after we have freed Mario and the Toads up to this point. And then an epic fight between you and King Boo, you as Luigi, take place. And he can do multiple different things by shooting fireball, using his tongue as obstacle, and shooting lightning. He can also duplicate himself and make replicas of his old King Boo design from the original Luigi Mansion. King Boo is awesome, and I love him for a reason. King Boo will always be my favorite Super Mario character in the game, as well as the #1 scariest boss ghost ever in Luigi Mansion 3. And it goes for all the Luigi Mansion game, period. So, yeah. And for those who are wondering why I didn't include him in top 10 scariest portrait ghosts when I did that 7 years ago, I counted him out because it would have been too easy, and they're not practically portrait ghosts, but they were boos. But yeah. So that will conclude for my countdown for top 10 scariest ghosts of Luigi Mansion 3. Congratulations, King Boo. You claimed your title as the spookiest, scariest ghost of them all. Alright guys, that is going to do it for my top 10 countdown of Luigi Mansion 3 scariest boss ghosts. Did you agree with my list, or did you disagree? Comment down below and share your thoughts and opinion on what the scariest boss ghost in your opinion is. I love to hear your opinions about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to punch that like button and subscribe for some more gaming content. So, once again, I am Fightman64. See you all. Have a good day. Game on, my friends. And take care. Goodbye, everybody, and stay safe. Adios, and have a happy Halloween of 2023. Don't get spooked. See you next time.